What's up, second channel? Yo, we're back with more content, and I feel like even on my main channel, even though this is a very cliche conversation, it is one that I purposefully, over my years being on YouTube, decided to remove myself from this conversation, largely because, you know, a lot of people do it already, so I don't deem it necessary to do it. In this video, as you can clearly see in the title, Gilbert Arenas is going to try to convince us all that LeBron is the GOAT instead of Michael Jordan.
The reason that I feel LeBron is the GOAT is because during pressure times, he still makes the actual right decision versus what us fans and the public wants him to do. You know, and that's what separates, you know, him from Jordan and Kobe, where if you give Jordan and Kobe those Cavs teams, they wouldn't have made the playoff. They wouldn't have made it to the championship because Jordan would have just averaged 60 and said the hell with it.
Oh, no! We're starting this video off on a horrible note, Gilbert. We're starting off horribly. Okay, but first let's argue the make the right play argument. Yes, LeBron makes the right play. That is great. I am on board with this idea that LeBron should be praised for passing the ball to open players in clutch situations if that is the correct play to be made. But to then say that that's what separates him from Michael and Kobe, when there's plays in NBA history where Michael is making the correct play. He's passing the ball to open teammates. It's not as if like he's the only player in NBA history who passes the ball to open teammates. But the second problem is this, and this is a problem I have with a lot of people when they make this argument about Jordan and this concept that all Jordan does is score. That's all he does is just score. He just scores and he doesn't care about his teammates. He's not going to make the right play. First of all, let's get something completely clear here. It can't be that all he does is score if he made all defensive teams and winning defensive player of the year. So it can't just be scoring. Second thing, it's amazing to me that people acknowledge that Jordan played in a system with Phil Jackson, but then they fail to acknowledge that the system that Phil Jackson put Michael Jordan in limited him. He had to sacrifice who he was as a player to best suit him in that system. So he couldn't go out there and average the 8+ assists or the 8+ rebounds that he could have grabbed, which he was doing the year prior. Phil Jackson was a head coach. So this idea that all he does is average 60 and that's it, the hell with his teammates. Well, when he was asked to do something else and he was asked to do it, be a facilitator and ball handler, he did those things. That's what he was doing. But finally, and most importantly, this idea or these beliefs or people just romanticizing what LeBron did in Cleveland, like he's the only player to ever lead poor rosters, to me is mind-blowing. It does not make any sense. Before Scottie Pippen was even an all-star caliber player, before Scottie Pippen was barely even a starter, Michael Jordan was leading. Before Phil Jackson, Michael Jordan led that Bulls team to the conference finals and gave the Detroit Pistons 2 losses in a playoff run where the Pistons did not lose to any other team. The Pistons swept everyone except for the Bulls in a year where, this is before Scottie Pippen was an all-star, all-NBA, playing at a Hall of Fame level, before Horace Grant was Horace Grant. I don't even think B.J. Armstrong was on the team. So you acting as if like he couldn't take a Cavaliers team to the playoffs in the Eastern Conference? No, dog, come on, let's stop.
What really made me fall in love with LeBron's play was, we're in the playoffs, it was game 5. He was playing decoy, and you know, we thinking our game plan is shutting them down. And then he looks over at the bench and then gives them the nod. And the nod ended up subbing Ilgauskas out. We subbed out Brendan Haywood. And when Brendan Haywood subbed out, LeBron James attacked that basket. He decoyed to give everybody else a chance to get involved into the game before he took over.
Oh, he's playing decoy. Oh, that's strange. That's a new thing I've never heard before. Is it great that LeBron is intelligent enough to play decoy? Of course it is. That's a great thing that LeBron is smart enough to understand and execute at a very early age. That is very true. However, LeBron is not the only player in NBA history to be decoy, to be passive in the early stages of a game or a series and then turn it up when necessary to force a defense to start making adjustments that they are not equipped and ready to make. That he's not the only player to do it. As crazy as it sounds, even though Kobe is labeled as a ball hog and a shot chucker, he used to use the same strategy.
So Phil wants me to take that shot, but I'm seeing, if this winds up being a close game, I'd rather save that shot for the fourth quarter and continue to punish them with my teammates, with power rolling to the basket. If he doesn't have it, you got another shooter coming up that'll have it. I know.
Same strategy. Michael Jordan is also known for this. Larry Bird was known for this. Magic Johnson was known for this. LeBron is not the only player in NBA history to do this. If the argument is trying to identify LeBron as the greatest of all time, well, there's other all-time greats who do the exact same thing. So no, that's not enough. That's just not enough. And if anything, you're proving the point that other people attempt to make when it comes to how easier it is to score in the modern NBA when there isn't any big men. If there's not any big men, it makes it easier for a player like LeBron to get to the basket and score with ease.
And I just thought that was just like special, because as soon as I got on the court, I didn't care who was on the court, I'm chucking.
Well, again, I think, and this is no knock on Gilbert Arenas, because at his peak, I think Gilbert Arenas was a sensational player. I think Gilbert Arenas at his peak is on par with some of the all-time great point guards playing today. I think Gilbert Arenas is really that special of a player. But that's what separates you, Gilbert Arenas, who at your peak was a great player, from all-time great players. So your standard for an all-time great player or a GOAT player, a greatest of all time, in that argument cannot be based off of what you would do, because you're not in that conversation. You have to gauge this off of what other all-time great players would do. And other all-time great players have played decoy. This is not the first and only player to do so.
What set LeBron apart was, his IQ, was his ability to adapt, ability to read. That's what we didn't understand when we was first matching up in the playoffs against him, how smart he really was.
And this right here is undeniably, I believe, the greatest argument for why LeBron would be in consideration to be the GOAT, because his passing, his IQ, his vision, his understanding of the game is cerebral. It's at a whole nother level. It's like second nature to him, and he was able to grasp that at a very, very, very early age. And when you pair that level of IQ, that vision, that passing gift with the durability of LeBron, it then produces a player who's been able to sustain a level of greatness through a time period that we probably will never ever see in NBA history. I mean, even as modern medicine has become advanced, there are still other players who just can't stay as healthy as long as LeBron has been able to.
We're going to leave Damon. He's not going to pass to Damon Jones. Damon Jones hasn't shot the ball in 2 games, and he actually makes that pass, which shows that he believes in his teammates, which gives them the sense that we believe in ourselves too. Jordan would have just averaged 60 and said, "The hell with it."
I don't agree with that. I mean, the reason why I can't agree with it, because again, if that was the case, Scottie Pippen just legitimately would not have been the player that he eventually became. If Jordan did not instill that confidence in those players, they would not have turned into Hall of Fame players. They would not have turned into all-star caliber players. And this is a great example. People always make this argument that LeBron makes his teammates better, and they always make them better. And for whatever reason, this then turns into this, when LeBron is off the court and when he's off the team crumbles apart. But if LeBron truly made his teams better, he made his teammates better, then when he's off the court, they'll be fully functional players, right? Michael Jordan didn't just go out there and say, "The hell, my teammates, I'm just going to average 60 or put up 60 points." Because if he did that, then when he left, then the Chicago Bulls wouldn't be an adequate team. They would have crumbled apart. That proves that it was more than just, the hell with my teammates, I'm going to put up 60. That's the true definition of making your teammates better. If you can still be a fully functional all-star, all-NBA, Hall of Fame, MVP candidate player, even when I'm not there, I've made you better. I've helped you become that player. If you cannot function when I'm no longer there, I didn't make you better. I just made you dependent on me. That's it. So with that being said, people, great video, I guess, from Gilbert Arenas. I do like the insight from NBA players, especially those who matched up with LeBron and the ones who aren't like, like Paul Pierce or Kevin Garnett, who just like have these grudge against LeBron because he is an all-time great player. However, there's a lot of things in this video that I wholeheartedly disagree with. But even in an attempt to generalize, I think there's a mischaracterization of who Michael Jordan was as a player to try to elevate LeBron James. With that being said, no, to me, this is not a video that is going to convince me that LeBron is somehow the GOAT. However, this does sound like a great concept for a series. So if you have another video that you believe that will convince me that LeBron is a GOAT instead of Michael Jordan, put it in the comment section below. Please, if you enjoy this type of content, please let me know in the comment section below as well. Hit the subscribe button, hit the like, and of course the notification bell so you can be updated when I upload these videos. I guess we're on the road to 100K.